already arrived, Mr. Kwebinda Lakode. I'm not sure if he's part of the meeting. He is also welcome, and all the honorable members of the committee and the officials of the department and the official members of the committee. We are starting this meeting in a very bad note. The bad note is that as this committee, we have lost one of our own, Honorable Mola. We are having a meeting for the first time without her. I would like to say, may her soul rest in peace. He will always be remembered by this committee, and we wish his family to recover from the big loss. And we are also starting this meeting after a very long time. We were unable to have our meeting as this committee due to the nature of the meeting, and also the fact that there were departments that were identified by the president to start working during the lockdown. Our committee was not one of those. So now we are having a very serious backlog of work that we were supposed to do months ago. But we will not waste time. We will make sure that we move as fast as we can with your cooperation, honorable members. But I must say our start was also a bit negative because we were supposed to have our meeting on Tuesday. But unfortunately, due to our non-availability of the department, we were unable to have the meeting. We have to reschedule it for today. I must say it in the presence of the department that this thing of having serious problem with ministers coming to meetings to account for their own executive undertakings, it's a serious problem for the committee. It makes our work very difficult. I do not know what can they suggest to us to make sure that when we schedule meeting for departments, they do come to the meeting. I'm saying this because we first communicate with the department before we schedule the meeting. We get confirmation from the department. We start preparations, and we as well continuously give information to them to make sure that on the expected date they are in. But always we find out a day before the meeting, we'll be getting an apology from the department, which makes our lives very difficult. Sometimes we have made some preparations that have cost implications, but the department just decides not to turn up. I think them amongst themselves, they must help us and tell us what is it that we are not doing proper that makes them not to honor the meetings of this committee. For instance, with the department that we're going to deal with of higher education, the expectation is that they should be giving us information before the meeting. But the report of the department, we only received it today. Again, it put us on a back foot, and they make our work of doing oversight very difficult. I'm pleading with the department, they must understand that. I want also to remind the department, even before we start the meeting, that we are again going to call them on the 16th of September. And we don't expect a day before the meeting, they tell us that they are unavailable. Two, we expect the documentation and report that is expected before we start the meeting. It's supposed to be 7 days at least before the meeting, but we're not complaining even if we get it lesser days before the meeting, but 7 days is the best for us to be able to peruse the reports and be able to do our oversight. I'm starting with that bad note. Without then wasting time, I was doing in terms of the agenda, the opening of the meeting, and as well as welcoming you. Our next item will be apologies, which will be asking the secretary of the committee to give us. And then thereafter, we deal with two progress reports, we engage with them, and then we adopt them. Can we then go straight to the apologies without wasting time? Because we've got only 3 hours in this committee to do all what I have outlined. Over to you, Secretary of the committee.
Thank you, Chair. I haven't received any apology. That's also thanks. Yes.
Thank you very much. Then, without wasting time and taking any comments from anyone, let's allow the department to make its presentation. And thereafter, we'll interact with the report. Over to you, Deputy Minister Putimanamela.
Thank you very much, Chairperson.
You
firstly, I know that we started with a bad note.
Very bad.
And I don't even have better news. What I must firstly say is that I became aware of this meeting last night. We confirmed that I will be standing in for the minister, and I then started working with the officials of the department to finalize the report. I wasn't aware that the report hasn't been sent through in time. But what's even more unfortunate is that even after having worked on the report, I must indicate that I've had a discussion with the DG just now, that I'm personally not happy with the report, and that it's one of two things. We have had an opportunity as the department, obviously, to prepare for this report. The committee itself has made arrangements for this meeting to take place, but I think it would be unfair that we present a report which I do not think meets the quality and standard that the committee deserves. We can go ahead with, because there is a presentation that has been prepared. We can go ahead and do make the presentation, but I must firstly make that statement. So the one option is we go ahead and make this presentation of this report, and then the committee engages with it, or we request that the committee agrees that we work on the report, and then get to present it. I think that's the whichever of the two options, it's fine. We've got Didi Jimvalo, who's here with us, who can lead us in the presentation of the report if the committee so feels that we should go ahead with the report. But otherwise, or we can even present a supplementary report, to this one, in order to, enhance the report at a later stage. So those are the two things that I thought I should present beforehand. I know I'm putting you in as much a difficult position that I'm in. So, but I think it's your decision. We can go ahead and make the presentation, and then try and put together a supplementary report, or we can actually work on a proper report that details the commitments that the minister has made, and the committee engages with it at a time.
Okay, thank you very much, Deputy Minister. I will allow the members, I'll be the last to speak on what you are presenting, but I want to allow first the members to comment on what you are saying.
Okay.
Honorable members. I see yes.
Oh, yes, I want to come in if you may allow.
Yes, There's a hand of Honorable George Makalakis. You are the first, Honorable Dodovu.
Thank you very much, Honorable Chair. I'm very, very far in the Bundus of the Northwest, and my battery is low, and I really sincerely apologize for the fact that I'm not able to show my face to this important meeting. What doesn't come out very clear from the Deputy Minister, Honorable Chair, is when did the department actually receive the information, the request to appear before this committee for the purpose of this meeting? I'm asking this because this is an important session of Parliament in which we are coming to engage with the executive undertakings of the department, spanning more than 2 years. I think it was around 2018 or so when the department was making certain undertaking in order to ensure that higher education is improved in the country. And for me, that is quite important, so that before we interact with what the Honorable Deputy Minister just indicated, we are certain when actually was this brought to the attention of the department. If that can be answered, we'll then take this particular point further, Honorable Chair. Thanks.
Okay. Let me take Honorable Makalakis, and then I'll go back to the minister.
Thank you, Honourable Chair. Sorry, the lighting where I'm sitting is not the best. Chairperson, I want to agree with Honourable Dodovo in the sense that we need clarity about what the exact reasons are that the department is in the situation that it is. But Chairperson, I also want to express my concern that this committee has, for some reason, had to take a back seat for the last few months. Whilst we sit with, and it's not necessarily our fault, but we're sitting with petitions that express some serious concerns by citizens of this country that are now being further delayed if we expect the department to at some other stage come and present. So I just want to add my voice of concern to what Honourable Dodovo has already raised, and that is that if we find a solution to getting feedback from the department, that it doesn't happen at the cost of dealing with petitions that have already been delayed for I think far too long, but that we find a way to get the information from the department without it hampering our program any further. We need to deal with these petitions and backlog, and we need to deal with it before the end of this year. Otherwise, we are actually letting the electorate down. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Let me take Mr. Mkhize and give us the detail of how did they communicate with departments in terms of them coming to the committee. The communication they did and the correspondence they've written, when, the dates and all that, so that we see exactly where was the problem. Thank you very much. Over to you, Mr. Mkhize.
Okay, thanks, Chair. Chair, according to my knowledge, I invited the department early this month and they responded. I still have that letter with me. They responded on the 3rd of August, Chair. That was my correspondent with the department, Chair. Yes.
So it's not from our side? Okay.
I believe it's not that, Chair.
Thanks. And then I'm coming back to you, Deputy Minister. The predicaments that you have in terms of hearing it only yesterday. And what is it exactly that you feel strongly that it's not captured in terms of the report that you've presented to us? Honorable Deputy Minister?
Yes, thank you, Chair. I think firstly, my concern is the quality of the report that is being presented today. Like I said, that I've only started interacting with the report sometime in the course of today when I agreed to to stand in for our minister. And so I'm certain that the fault is not that of the committee. The fault is it's on our side, and that we should have done much better in terms of putting together the information that the committee requires. I've had a discussion with the DG, and we've agreed that it's either the committee can agree to allow us to present what we have, or within the next few days, understanding the pressures that that we all have in terms of accountability and responding to the petitions and all of that, that we ensure that the report meets the standard required by by the committee. So those are the two concerns. It's more so whether it's me who's here or the minister who would have been here, the report would have been the same. The report would have had these concerns around the the quality of the report and whether the report is worthy of being presented before the committee. So we can commit, Chair, if you agree that we improve on the report, we can commit to come with the report within the next within the next week, so that we deal with the questions of the time pressures in terms of responding to petitions. I know we already are facing problems as it relates to that, but we really would like to beg your indulgence. Otherwise, we can go ahead and present the report, and then where the committee feels strongly, we can then provide with supplementary information.
Okay. Thank you very much, Honorable Minister. It's clear that the report that is with us is not of good quality. So I would suggest that it's useless for us to interact with the report that they are also not satisfied about it. But I must raise a serious disappointment to the department. They didn't pitch up on the expected day. Now they are here. They have challenges in terms of their own report, which is delaying more the work of the committee. As I have indicated earlier on, that our work is not moving because we do not get cooperation from ministers. Because I don't want to say you are not alone in what you are doing to us today. I would suggest that let's let the department go and put together the report that is expected by the committee. We will communicate later to them about the day that we'll be calling them. We don't want to commit on next week or any, because we've got other pressures of our work that we need to deal with, as one of my colleagues have indicated. So let's put aside the report of the department and go to the next item. Thank you very much, Deputy Minister. Are we in agreement, honorable chairs, honorable members of the committee?
Yes, Chair. I concur with your observations and summary in terms of what we need to do. But I may just hasten to caution the department that this must not be a pattern that develops, that when we need to interact with the department, we do not get the necessary cooperation. As we say, this is for the second time that there are some glitches in the process. To just underscore the fact that the work of this committee is very, very much important. Today, the 27th of August, is exactly 2 years, because the undertakings of the department were on the 27th, the same day, the 27th of August, 2 years ago. And the issues that are before us are extremely important. They are about student funding, curriculum, transformation in institutions of higher learning, and the collaboration between different institutions. And therefore, we need to interact with this and check to what an extent that the department has addressed all these pertinent questions that are affecting us, and cooperating with the committee itself will go a long way in helping us. I must also say that in the entirety of Parliament, in both the two houses, this is the only single committee that is dealing with executive undertakings and petitions, and therefore it is quite important that all the departments must cooperate with this committee. Thank you very much. Thanks.
Thank you very much. Any seconder to that?
Chair.
Chair, I also.
Mela?
No, thanks, Chair. My only concern, Chair, or the point that I want to raise with the committee is the issue of the petitioners themselves.
We'll discuss that when we finalize this. Sorry for that.
Okay.
Can I give Honorable Professor?
Yes, Chair, this is actually an embarrassment to think that a department like higher education is so badly prepared. They get dates and they come here with reports that's of no value to us. It is really, in a time like this, we cannot afford to have these things. And the minister must be kept accountable. She is the minister is the one that is accountable to Parliament. And the minister must be here herself. We cannot just have the deputy minister here. The minister must make available herself. Thank you.
Thank you very much. On that note, we are agreeing, Honorable Deputy.
No, Chair. I think we must correct this.
No, I will.
I think we must correct this. I'm saying that if the minister is not in the meeting for valid reasons, we must accept. I think the deputy minister is quite competent and capable, as he indicated from the beginning of the meeting, that he was fully briefed. He also took pain to engage the department, and that he has, on his own observation, realized that certain questions are not properly addressed. And in my view, if the minister is not there, the deputy is there, he can attend to the issues if there is a valid reason to that. We cannot just underplay the role of deputy ministers coming to this kind of meetings. Thanks.
Thank you very much, Honorable Dodovi. I was going to respond to that. That as a committee, we have an understanding that we refuse to be addressed by the DGs because it's not them that have given undertakings. It must be the minister, if not the minister, the deputy minister. So we still stand by that. So we agree that we are not taking your report, Honorable Deputy Minister, and please make sure that when you prepare your report, you give us at least between 7 days and 5 days before the meeting, because you are sitting with this kind of information for a very long time. It will be easy for you to do that. On that note, we are releasing the office minister, who will then be dealing with our reports. Thank you very much. Have a wonderful evening. Be safe. Are you still there, Deputy Minister?
Yes, I'm still here.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
We are releasing you. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I think we'll just have to find the dates that both the minister or the ministry's diary and the committee can agree on, and then we can come
and
through.
Please don't remember the September 16, it's your date. It's not going to change.
Okay.
It's another date that. Yes.
Okay, thank you. Thank you.
Okay. On that note, let's go straight to our next item. which is a progress report of Department of Agriculture, Forestry and Fisheries. Would like the committee to do a consideration of this report and as well adopt it. I'm sure you did receive the documentation to that effect. You have looked at it, I assume. Can we then have discussion on that? Honorable members, are you still there? I see the hand of Honorable Fester. Am I right? Your hand is up in terms of this.
My hand was up for the last question to the Deputy Minister.
Oh, all right. Then you can drop your hand so that I see the hands that wants to talk to the report.
Chair.
Honorable
Yeah.
Shaida Sheikh, her hand is up.
Thank you, Chair.
And
Chair, I
Honorable
think in terms of, yeah, I'm just saying that in terms of the report, I've been through it and I was satisfied with it. I don't have any further deliberation, so perhaps we can look into adoption of the reports, Chair.
Okay. Honorable Dodo, you said your hand is up?
Yes, I'm just saying, Honorable Chair, that yes, I think the report is okay, even the way it is structured. But for me, the interest is how the Department of Agriculture, Rural Development, and all of that has addressed all these issues, because I remember quite well when we were engaging with the department, there were a lot of questions. There were a lot of issues that we raised. There were a lot of dissatisfactions. I remember that it was the Deputy Minister, Honorable Squash, who was there, and we expressed our dissatisfactions, especially around the issues of funding as it relates to different provinces and the different programs which were not implemented to date. And if I remember quite well, that report the undertakings was made almost four years ago. And in that sense, we're still not satisfied because the department had not accomplished what it had set for itself. And that is really, really unacceptable. My view is that, yes, for the purpose of this meeting, let us adopt the report. It's okay because it's our report. These are the reflections in the meeting of the committee. But we still need the department to come back and fully satisfy us as a committee on those particular questions that we had raised. And in my view, they were not adequately answered by the department. And to date, personally, I don't know what has happened, what is progress in respect of all those particular questions. And my view, as I'm saying, it is quite important that, yes, adopt the report, but we need to once more find time to invite the department to appear before this committee to interact with those particular issues. Thanks.
Okay. Honorable Makalakis, your hand is up.
Thank you, Chair. Chairperson, I just have one or two points under the recommendations. The first one is 6.3, which says that with regard to the emerging farmers and job creation, the committee recommends the department provide the House with statistics on whether capital investment is producing the output expected. I just want an explanation over there with regards to how it's going to work if the department needs to provide the House with statistics. Shouldn't it be that the department should provide the committee with statistics? And then the other concern that I have is that we are the committee that deals with executive undertakings, but we do have a select committee that specializes in agriculture matters. And I would like to add the recommendation that we share this report with the select committee on agriculture so that they are, in my opinion, a slight bit better equipped to deal with following up on some of these matters and making sure that that the department comes and reports on a regular basis to them as well. So I would just like to make the two recommendations. The one is that instead of saying that they send the statistics to the House, that they rather send it to the committee, and then to add a 6.4 that this committee shares the report with the Select Committee on Agriculture so that they can do the necessary follow-ups as well. Thank you, Chair.
Okay, thank you. That means we are adopting the report, but we are raising these issues that are very critical, that the report, the department, in my view, must come back to the committee and give us information on all those areas they have gaps, and where they have promised us to give us statistics, they must submit them to the committee. So and two, the honorable member is also suggesting that we should be also sharing the information notes with the relevant committee that is dealing with department on day to day, so that there is no gap in terms of information. So that's what we are agreeing upon. Thank you very much, honorable members. Can we then proceed to the next report, which is basic education? We did receive the report from the Department of Basic Education, and now we need to consider again their report again and also adopt it. Are there areas that we want to lift in terms of the report? No hand as we speak. Are we happy with the reports?
Yes, we are, Chair.
Yes, Chair.
I am.
Okay, thank you very much. So also the report is adopted. Those are the reports that we are going to look at today meeting. Otherwise, if there's any other matter that I am leaving out, can Mr. Mkhize remind me if there's something that I'm leaving out from our agenda?
Okay, thanks, Chair. I just wanted to find who moved for the adoption and who seconded the adoption, Chair, for the first report and for the second report, Chair. I didn't get that.
The first report, Agriculture, Forestry and Fisheries, it was Honorable Sheikh,
Okay.
supported by Honorable Dodovu, and there were some addition by Honorable Michaelakis and some suggestions in terms of how we move forward with the report, which we have agreed to.
Okay, thanks, Chair.
And the second one, again, Honorable Dodovu adopted the report and seconded by Honorable Sheikh.
Okay.
There were no additions in terms of the way forward for the report. So I'm checking, is there any other item that I'm leaving out?
Not yet. There's no other item, Chair.
Or it's the last item?
That was
Which
the last
is on
item.
that note, let me thank the honorable members before that and talk about the seriousness of the issue of petitions. It has been difficult to deal with petitions, honorable members, to the extent that I interacted with Chair of Chairs to try during the lockdown to have partnerships with municipalities so that we start dealing with petitions. And if there is a need of us having virtual meetings, we do that in partnership with the municipality in the area where the petition is coming from. But luckily for us now, we are allowed now to have about 50 members in one room, as long as there's social distancing. Now we will be focusing on petition. The third thing that I want to emphasize on, when dealing with petitions, we must remember that one needs a petition that has that has been fully exhausted in terms of where it's coming from. One, if the petition is related to a municipality, we must prove that the person has been interacting with the municipality, it doesn't get any joy. And also, e-legislature in all provinces, they do have a section unit where they deal with petitions. It has also been to legislature. Legislature is also not helping the person who's putting the petition. We are the last resort in terms of dealing with those matters. So I want us to always inform those who are petitioning that there is a process that we should be following so that stepping, someone is not on mute and is disturbing the meeting. So I just wanted to make those remarks so that we don't make a situation where all petitions are flooded at a national level and leaving in municipalities and legislature. Thank you very much. Now we can talk about petitions. Honorable Zanda Mela.
Yeah, no, thanks, Chair. Can you ask Honorable Dodovi to mute his mic?
Yeah, I didn't know who is that. Honorable Dodovi, who are disturbing the meeting, please mute. Over to you.
No, thanks, Chair. I actually wanted to raise this point when, firstly, with the Department of Education when they were here. As a committee, what are we now doing with regard to the petitioners themselves? Because they are waiting for the committee to assist, as we just mentioned. You know, now what is the committee doing? Are we not at some point maybe have to inform them that the problem is not with the committee, it's with the department who came with the report that it's not
well prepared.
Well prepared and all those kind of things. So what is the committee going to do to make sure that the petitioners themselves, they are aware of the committee that we are doing our best, but the problem it lies somewhere else. Thanks, Chair.
Okay. Anyone else want to speak?
Chair.
On this matter of petitions?
Chairperson.
Yes. You are allowed to speak.
Thank you, Chair. I just want to raise a few concerns that I have. I have picked up over time that I agree with you that we should be the last resort. But I have picked up over time that some of our constituents complain to the municipality. They get ignored by the municipalities.
Yeah.
And then they go to the provincial legislatures. But the provincial legislatures have such a backlog of their own that those petitions end up sitting there for months and years. And then out of desperation, they come to us. Now, it's not ideal, but it adds to our workload, and we can't simply ignore those voters. So I do think that we need to, at some stage, take up the fact that petitions to the provincial legislatures are faced with a serious backlog, and that adds to our problems over here as well. That's the first point that I want to make. The second point is that I do think it would be helpful for us to receive an indication of what our own backlog is, which petitions we still need to deal with, and perhaps get, if at least in concept, get some other time frame that can give us an indication of when we can reasonably be expected to deal with which petitions, just so there's some other framework which I feel currently do not have. I just wanted to make those 2 points. Thanks, Chair.
Thank you very much. Your points are taken. One of the issue of legislatures, maybe it will help us if there can be a way of communicating with speakers of legislatures. We start a rapport as NCOP Petitions Office with offices of the Speaker, so that we get to understand what is happening. Why are they not responding to, especially if we receive a petition that indicates that for so many months we did write to our legislature, but they didn't respond to us. That's one. Two, on the issue of our own backlog, it's not a problem. Secretary of the committee can send to all of us the number of the petitions that we have as we speak, because we didn't have that much of a backlog in terms of that. But it's an information that can be easily available to all of us. And we start developing as you are saying, the program of how are we going to deal with the petitions, starting from now that we have a window of being able to deal with petitions and invite petitioners to come to us and we do our work. So that one is not difficult. We can get it as early as next week. Are we happy with the issue of petitions, honorable members?
Yes, I'm happy.
Thank you, Chair.
Thank you very much.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
On that note, thank you very much for coming, and please be safe. Corona is still there. It's not gone. We must keep ourselves safe. Thank you very much. Have a wonderful
Thank you,
evening.
Chair.
Yes.
Sorry, my apologies. I just wanted to come in with regard to the number of petitions that we currently have. They are
Okay.
5.
All
The
right.
EOH petition we'll be dealing with in the next 2 weeks. I think that would be on the 16th of September according to the program. But apart from that one, we have 5 petitions that we need to deal with.
Okay. Thank you very much. As I was saying, it's easy. It's an information that is on our hands. It's not difficult to know how many petitions do we have. It's only 5. We can deal with them before we go for our December holiday. We can finish with those if we are serious about dealing with petitions. Thank you very much. Before that, I was told that finally we did have a researcher. Am I correct?
Yes, Chair, I'm here.
Now, we didn't introduce you officially, that you are now our researcher. I think it's important for the committee to know. We congratulate you.
Chair, sorry, I was always the researcher to the committee, but I stood in as a content advisor and my contract terminated at the end of June. So the committee currently has a researcher, myself, but no content advisor.
Yeah, thank you very much. I just want to keep the committee informed that now we do have a researcher. We are still going to get a content advisor for the committee. So you are welcome. Thank you very much. Congratulations for the new position. The meeting is then adjourned. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you.
Chair,
Bye-bye, Mamang.